Divorcing my husband was the biggest mistake I have ever done. I did not expect this backlash. Hello Reddit Eyes Plus here. If I could give anyone a single piece of advice about divorce, it would be this. Don't do it. Not unless your spouse is abusive or endangering your children. But in the absence of something extreme like that, take a long, hard look at what you're about to do, because once it's done, you can't undo it. My story is different from those that end with a happy, independent life after divorce. I wasn't escaping abuse or neglect. I was running from something I didn't even realize was my own creation. For 8 years, my husband and I built a life together. It wasn't perfect, but it was mostly good. We had 4 kids. We loved each other, or at least we used to. Then, 5 years in, I got a promotion. It was a big one. Suddenly, I was making more money than my husband, and the power rush of success hit me hard. I started thinking that maybe he was holding me back. I started to imagine that I deserved more success, more excitement, more life. He, meanwhile, had his hours cut at work and was home with the kids more. At first, I tried to see it as a temporary situation, but soon enough, resentment set in. I hated that he got to spend more time with our kids than I did. I was angry when I came home and the house wasn't perfect. The dishes weren't done. The kids hadn't eaten what I wanted them to. It didn't matter that he was doing his best. He couldn't win with me. The truth is, I was angry at myself, but I took it all out on him. And as my resentment grew, I found solace in something, or rather, someone else. A guy from work. It started off innocently enough, harmless flirting, quick texts, inside jokes, but it escalated fast, and before I knew it, we were sneaking away to meet up. I justified it all by telling myself that my husband wasn't making me happy anymore. I deserved this. I convinced myself that I was entitled to feel alive again. The worst part? One night after a long day at work, I came home to find the house spotless. My husband had cleaned everything, made dinner for the family, and even picked out a movie for us to watch together. And instead of being grateful, I was furious. I couldn't stand the sight of him. I made up an excuse, pretended to be sick, and locked myself in the bedroom, texting the other guy while my husband brought me soup and checked on me like I was some kind of queen. Over the next couple of months, it didn't matter what my husband did, he was wrong just for existing in my eyes. I treated him horribly. I belittled him, picked fights over nothing, and ignored his every effort to make things work. I knew he was breaking, but I didn't care. I wanted him to break. I wanted him to give me a reason to leave. And then, he found out about the other guy. I'll never forget the look on his face, how he held back tears as I stood there, stone-faced, refusing to apologize. He begged me to stay, to try and fix what we had, but I had already made up my mind. I wanted out. So I filed for divorce. In the days leading up to it, I posted about my situation online, receiving endless validation from strangers. You deserve better, they told me. Leave him and live your best life. I ate it up. It felt good to be supported, to have others cheering me on in my decision to destroy my family. The divorce went through without a hitch. My husband barely fought back. He was so heartbroken he just wanted it over with. I felt free. Finally free. The thrill of independence was intoxicating. For about a month. That's when reality came crashing down. I missed garbage day 3 times in a row. The dishes piled up in the sink. The laundry mountain grew so high that I had to sniff clothes to see if they were clean enough to wear. My kids? Oh God, my kids. They were miserable. My oldest stopped talking to me completely after she found out about the guy from work. The others wanted to live with their dad, but what really killed me was seeing my ex-husband again. I started calling him to watch the kids when I couldn't keep up with work and parenting. Every time he came over, he cleaned the house, did the laundry, made dinner, everything I couldn't manage. And then, without a word, he'd leave, looking more defeated each time. One night after he took the trash out because I forgot, again, I stood there in the driveway and asked him, "Do you think we could get back together?" He looked at me, tears filling his eyes, and whispered, "I don't know if I can. The pain has been too much for too long. I don't trust that you won't do it all over again." And that was the moment I realized I had destroyed a man who had only ever tried to love me. I broke our family because I thought I was chasing happiness, when all along I was running from myself. If you're reading this and thinking about divorce, please, for the love of God, think about what you're really doing. Don't make my mistake. Don't destroy something beautiful just because you're convinced there's something better out there. I'll spend the rest of my life regretting what I've done.